Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we're going to talk about how to promote your business locally, some online small business marketing strategies for 2025 and beyond. So if you are a new small business just opened up in town, or if you're an established small business kind of looking to get a better grasp on the marketing scene, especially in the online realm, how to really put your business out there and market effectively for new customers in 2025 and beyond, this video is for you. I have a bunch of tips and strategies here for you today. So without further ado, let's dive in and start off here. All right, so firstly, we're gonna start off over here. I have a couple quadrants up there, and each represents an area of the internet that you can appear on to market yourself and your business. So first off, we have socials or social media. So most people, when they're on their phones, they're on some type of social media app, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even Snapchat or other ones, right? Your business can actually make a page and make content that's maybe relevant to pop culture and things like that to show up in front of the eyeballs of the people that you may want to eventually court as potential future customers. And maybe you start off by following folks in your local area and just continuing to post content organically that route. And that kind of brings me to one of my next points, which is the difference between organic and paid when it comes to marketing. But for now, let's move on to the second quadrant up here, which is search. So another place that you can appear is organic search. All right, so that's Google, or for 10% of the market, that's Bing. But Google is the big obvious player here. You're gonna wanna show up higher to the top as opposed to lower for your ideal search terms that your ideal customer is searching for. For example, if you are a med spa and someone searches up microneedling near me or laser hair removal near me, ideally you're showing up pretty close to the top, especially if they're searching within a couple miles of your actual building. So we want to show up in search. How do we do this effectively? We'll talk about that more a little bit later in this video, but definitely in some other videos we can go into search and SEO a little bit more. Another way to market is actually through partners or affiliates, they're called in business, right? So maybe we form partnerships with businesses in adjacent verticals that aren't necessarily our direct competitors, but we cross-pollinate our businesses and our audiences. Right? So maybe if we're an orthodontics practice, maybe we want to have a partnership with the roller rink, right? Where that roller rink allows us to sponsor them or throw events there, and kids and teens that may actually go to that roller rink are now exposed to our orthodontics office, right? So maybe we form partnerships and affiliations with other businesses, or maybe even local figures or local influencers to actually promote our business and our product. We can either sponsor them in a paid fashion, or maybe we can make a more organic partnership of kinds where maybe we each help each other out in some way or another, or just generally partner up and share our business with the other's audience. Or maybe that's in the form of doing some type of program like a lunch and learn, right, at another business, right? So this is kind of a more boots on the ground, forming connections, networking type of marketing, but this can definitely be done online. Maybe it's a shout out for a shout out on your Instagram page or something like that, right? And the fourth quadrant I have is listings or other miscellaneous types of marketing that you can do. So in the listings example, maybe in the medical niche or industry, you have websites like Healthgrades and directories that are in addition to Google or other types of forums where people can search and learn more about a specific practice or the reviews of a certain doctor and things like that. There are certain reviews and listings websites that you might want to go ahead and make a listing on so that you can at least show up in that area just to further build your name out there on the internet and things like that. And so guys, those are the four main areas or ways that you can show up online. So if you already are really good on search, but maybe you're weak on social media, start doing more social media. Create some accounts, start making some posts, and we'll go over exactly what types of content you can make. And we'll actually also talk about some of the different social medias and the pros and cons for each. But let's get into organic versus paid. So for most of these quadrants, you can do an organic version or a free version, a natural boots on the ground growth type of version, or you can do a paid version where you shoot yourself to the top with dollars and with ad spend behind you. So organic social media is great because you're posting for free. You're posting value, content, you're building relationships potentially at scale for free because it's free to post on Instagram currently as a business account. It's free to post on YouTube currently as a business account. Organic social media is one of the best ways, in my opinion, to build an audience and acquire customers at the most affordable rate at the highest ROI. I think if you are a master at going viral and growing pages on social media, maybe you're a master at growing Instagram pages or a master at growing YouTube channels, but if you're a master at that skill, that is a master marketing skill, because you can essentially take any business from not known and underground to really widely known at scale, because it is fairly doable to get hundreds of thousands of views on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram. Most local businesses in our area, they get some foot traffic, they get some automobile traffic going by, maybe a couple dozen people per day drive by and say, I didn't notice that tattoo shop was there. I didn't notice that martial arts gym was there. But imagine getting hundreds of thousands of people seeing your business on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It is insane scale that we can't really comprehend. Say if this YouTube video gets 100,000 views, imagine me in a stadium talking to 100,000 people. It's incomprehensible, guys, the amount of scale and reach that you can get, and you can do this organically for free by posting a free YouTube video. So the question then becomes, how can we build up the skill of posting a YouTube video such that it gets hundreds of thousands of views or tens of thousands of views even? Because that can really change a business entirely from night to day. So in my opinion, that's an amazing skill to have and something to consider going forward. Enough rambling about organic social media. I think it's great. You're building relationships at scale potentially, depending on how many followers you have. If you have 100 followers, you're building relationships normally that you probably could in person, but you're building it at scale when you have 10,000 followers. Now you're posting one thing and you're having a parasocial relationship with, say, 200 people just seeing every single post, right? So it's a great way to scale up your relationships online. The second way to do organic is through search, by having your website listed organically on Google, by having a lot of relevant content on your website and a lot of relevant keywords on your website. If you're a dentist, you have a lot of keywords about dentistry, about the different procedures that you do. So when someone searches dentist in X town or root canals, do they hurt near me? If you have a blog article on your page called Do Root Canals Hurt? Dentist in X town, you will show up on Google for that search inquiry. That's why blogs exist, because you're posting content that are intended to match the search keywords that your ideal customer may or may not be searching. Otherwise, you would just have relevant keywords on your website talking about who you are, what you do, and the idea is that when someone searches for what you do, you show up because you talk about it on your website, or it's the name of your website. So that's basic SEO or search engine optimization, and you can do that for free. Another organic marketing channel is organic affiliates or organic partnerships. We kind of went over that briefly just before here. So we'll move on to the next one, which is groups. You can join groups organically, Facebook groups, maybe Reddit threads, different forums and things like that. You can join groups and just add your input, add advice, engage in people that have questions about whatever you're actually an expert in. You can answer their questions. You can just become an active member. And when the time arises naturally and organically, you can, post a little thing about what you do and who you are. You might get some new customers from that. To me, it's very much a guerrilla strategy. They talk about guerrilla warfare. It's very much boots on the ground, kind of a lot of effort. So I don't necessarily do a ton of group marketing in groups, talking to people. I'm not on the internet all day, on my forums all day, but that is an option and an avenue you can pursue. Also listings, you can, again, post your listings organically on these websites. Go on to whether it's Healthgrades or whatever the website is, make your listing, show up there. People can start to review you or at least find you. Or on Yelp, for example, you can make your listing on Yelp and people will slowly over time perhaps start to review you or provide photos for their experience at your business, etc., etc. And let's go on to the paid section now. So you can do paid social media, which is where you run ads to your page. Now these ads can be for different objectives. So you can run a messenger ad. So the ad will actually direct people directly to your DMs or direct messages, and they'll message you directly. And maybe you can start conversing with a bunch of people at scale because your ad is showing to thousands of people, and now you're having thousands of conversations in your DMs. Or maybe you're just running a simple follower ad and you just want people to see your page, see all the content on your page. And the idea is that over time, as they're a follower, they're seeing all your content, they're going to be naturally nurtured and directed to eventually want to work with you. You can run follower ads, DM ads, direct to conversion ads. So your conversion action could be direct to call. It could be direct to fill out a lead form, which is just simply their name, email, phone number, basic information, or basic context about their interest, right? Think of your basic contact form on websites. And then moving on to search, you can do paid search, which are often called PPC ads or pay-per-click ads, because on Google Ads, you pay as an advertiser when someone clicks on your ad. So maybe in the dental industry, that's something like $5 to $10 per click. Every single time someone clicks on your ad, you're instantly charged maybe $10, right? And so the idea is that you get enough people interested and actually starting to work with you that pays off for these clicks. So on average, you'll start to form a general cost to acquire a customer for your business, and say that's $150. Hopefully your ticket price is high enough so that you're actually making some margin and some profit on that trade. But that's the idea behind pay-per-click ads. And what pay-per-click ads do is they just simply bring your listing to the top. Now, in some cities, especially big cities and other things like that, you're competing with other similar businesses. So now there's a competition and an auction aspect to your ad. So you may not even appear at number one or near the top, especially if your bid isn't that high. So there's a lot of technical bidding strategies that you can do in the Google Ads Manager. That's probably for another video. But essentially just know that you're auctioning against other local businesses. And if it's very competitive, you could be paying a lot for a click on Google. For example, a lawyer in New York City, it's probably astronomical, the auction and the prices that you would have to pay to kind of be close to number one spot in pay-per-click ads. Now you can do that. Google is okay letting anyone who wants to be at the top, just know you're going to be paying a premium to be there because you're auctioning against other people. So you can do a paid version of search or an organic version of search. Same thing with the social media. You can do a paid version of affiliates. Maybe you're paying a local influencer to give you a shout out, right? Maybe it's a local Instagram influencer with 1 million followers and you do a partnership or an affiliation with them where you say, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. You shout us out on your page and you receive, that commission. So that's another avenue you can pursue. Paid affiliations or paid influencer marketing, as it's called in digital marketing, is actually a very much a growing industry because there's tons of micro influencers, as they're called online nowadays. You don't just have, it's not just LeBron and just Steph Curry and just Lionel Messi that are the influencers. There's hundreds of thousands of other micro influencers that have 1 million followers, but you haven't heard of them, but they have 1 million followers and they have a really wide reach. And you can actually tap into that by contacting these people. Maybe you don't get in touch with that person, but you try the other person that has 1 million followers and you're able to get in touch with them. And maybe you could even lower it down a little bit to now where you're reaching out to people with 20,000 followers. They still have a really big reach. Again, we're talking about tens of thousands of people. So don't underestimate the power of online followers and the metrics online, because it's very hard for us to be reminded of the scale that some of us have access to on the internet. And some of these influencers, they have tens of thousands of followers, and that is a lot of reach, a lot of exposure for your business. So it's something to consider, influencer marketing, right? And then you can also do paid listings. Maybe you pay Yelp ads or you pay for Healthgrades ads. I don't know if they do ads, but you can pay Yelp, I think, and other home service listings, websites, and directories. You can actually pay to have your listing higher up on those websites as well. That's another avenue you could pursue if you like. So I'm not too big on the listing stuff. Search is cool and it's really important because 99% of people, if they need a doctor in X city, they're going to go on Google and search doctor in my city or whatever, right? So it's very important to make sure you have a base level SEO search game to where you're getting organic traffic or traffic in general from search on a monthly basis. But let's go into some social media stuff, because that's why you're here. You're on a social media platform right now, and social media is a bit more of a skill game and something that people, maybe it's a little bit harder to understand rather than just basic search, because I'm sure we can all put the dots together that, yeah, I'm going to show up on some search platform if I'm going to be a local business, because most people search dentist in X town, right? So let's go into the social media stuff. On social media, let's start off with the basic marketing funnel for most new customers. They start off as an unaware prospect. They don't even know they have a problem. They don't even know you exist, right? And eventually something happens to where they get the problem. And now they're problem aware. My knee hurts. I need to go to the doctor. And then they start looking, right? That's when they start making their searches on Google, or the algorithm somehow can track them and know what they're interested in at all times. And it shows them an ad of a doctor in X city. And eventually they might say, oh yes, I need a doctor, I just hurt my knee. Let me actually fill out my contact information because I saw, let's say, a Facebook ad where it's a doctor talking about, hey, do you have this problem? We're a doctor in X area. We'd be happy to help. The person's like, right place, right time. I'm filling out my information. And now they're a lead. That doctor's office has that person's name, email, phone number, and they'll reach out and try to contact them and get on the phone with them and discuss if that person's a good fit and if they'd actually want to make an appointment and come in, right? And so we have the contacted stage here. So they're starting to get hotter, right? We're starting off colder and colder, and we're starting to get hotter and hotter in regards to the likelihood of becoming a new customer and actually paying for something. So once we're contacting them and we're on the phone with them, then we're going to ideally, hopefully book them into an appointment. And as you can see, you know, the funnel catches a wide swath of people at the top, but people drop off at each stage, and eventually you're left with a small select few that actually make it all the way through the bottom that are super hot, ready to go, and they start. So some people will book and some people won't. But then those bookings, some people will show up to their appointment, some people won't. Right? And there's different tactics that we do at each stage in this marketing funnel that we'll go over here shortly. And then once people are showed to the appointment, some people become loyal new customers, and other people maybe don't even start after that appointment, don't even pay after that initial consultation or appointment or whatever, but some people do. So I like to think of it like a waterfall, right? Things are trickling down and eventually we're left with a small select few, but we want to do certain things at each stage in the funnel or in the pipeline to make sure that we're minimizing the amount that slips through the cracks at each step. So from the lead to contacted step, we want to make sure we're getting in touch with as many leads as possible. A couple main tactics that we can use for this are speed to lead, so reaching out to our inquiries as quickly as possible. That's step number one, and one main tactic you can implement to increase your contact rate, the amount of leads or inquiries that you're actually getting in touch with on the phone. The next thing is a pretty persistent follow-up cadence. So maybe reaching out to them 2 times via call the first day, 2 times the second day, and maybe 2 times the third day. And then maybe giving them a call attempt once every other day or once every 3 days for the next 6 to 9 days. So we've given them, 10 call attempts in the first 2 weeks, and that'll really make sure we're getting in touch with as many leads as possible. Now from the contacted to book stage, we want to do a couple things like having a really good booking call, a really good conversation on the phone, rapport, obviously first and foremost, making sure that we're coming across in a friendly, welcoming fashion, that the person would, if it's a good fit, they would want to work with us because they trust us. There's some rapport there. We're giving them a lot of information. We're helping them kind of realize the problem that they have. Oh, you hurt your knee? Yeah, that's not good. How long has it been going on for? Oh, geez, have you already seen a doctor for this to get it checked out? No? Okay. Well, this is exactly something that we should look at. Let's get you in, yada, yada. And then from the book stage, some people won't show up to their appointment. So to maximize the show rate, we do certain things like maybe collecting a card on file to let them know of a no-show fee if they don't show up. So getting some type of financial commitment, maybe a prepay, maybe a 50% prepay or 10% prepay, or a pay in full prepay, right? The more you can get, the better, I guess. Other things, obviously, reminder texts, confirmation calls, a 24-hour confirmation call the day before. Hey, John, just confirming your appointment tomorrow. You still good to come in at 3? Okay, great, see you then. Another thing we can do is send them content, maybe YouTube videos, links to our social media pages, or links to our website at the very least, just to get further nurtured on who we are, what our office looks like, types of clients we've worked with in the past, who our doctor is or who our main business person is, etc. Just to nurture them further to build that know, like, and trust so that they're more likely to actually want to work with us and they already know kind of what they're getting into, as opposed to this, I don't even know who this business is. I just clicked on their ad 10 minutes ago and I don't know if I really want to go. I don't know where it's located, etc., etc. So we're helping to answer as many of those questions before they actually get to the appointment, so they're not just coming and they don't even know where they're going. And then from there, some people show but don't start, and that's just basic kind of sales stuff, guys. So making sure we're asking some good discovery questions to figure out what their problem is, why they've chosen to pursue this local business for whatever reason. Now, some of these sales tactics may or may not apply to your local business, but if you sell higher ticket stuff and it does require some type of sales appointment or conversion appointment, then sure, look into some more of the sales stuff where you're discovering and you're uncovering pain points and you're matching those to what you offer and how you can tailor your services and your packages to really help them to the best of your ability. So ultimately, guys, those are some things that you can use at each stage in the funnel to make sure that you're maximizing any paid or organic marketing that you're doing. Now, for content, right, on social media, what I've found is that long form video is really the cream of the crop when it comes to content because you're nurturing people at a really high rate. People are spending a lot of time with you. They get to see you, hear you speak. They know what you're like. They get a vibe for you. And it's really great just for them to discover what you do, who you are, and eventually build this know, like, and trust factor, right? You'll hear this a lot in digital marketing where you want to make sure people know, like, and trust you. If you can just remember this main thing for all of your content, you'll be pretty fine in your content, whether you're on Twitter or X, or, I'm actually going to put that on here as well. X is another platform you could consider marketing on. My favorites for local businesses would be Instagram, Google, and Maps, obviously, and even Facebook. Darn it. We're just gonna circle all of them, guys. These are all good. We'll go back over there in a second, but long form video is great because people are getting to know, like, and trust you at a high rate. Imagine if you're just posting X posts, right? Maybe you're just posting a motivational quote or something like that, or like your thoughts on a daily basis. People can't hear you. They don't really know what you're like. Sure, X is a great place to build an audience, especially if you're posting consistently and you're really getting your voice out there. People can really get a sense for who you are and want to work with you through that, sure. But I mean, you have the written word, then you have visual pictures, and then you have video, which is a stream of pictures. So in my opinion, that form of content and that form of communication has much more context and richness than the written word, right? You can get so much more through to someone through video. And that's why long form video or YouTube to me is the cream of the crop. But the thing is, for local businesses, YouTube's really great for national mass market marketing, but not so much for local businesses because you can only build an audience of so many people in one city on your YouTube channel. Does that make sense? So if you're a local business in Chicago and you just start making YouTube videos, you very well may amass an audience of people nationwide, which is cool. Maybe you can find something to sell to people nationwide as well, but it's hard to build a localized audience, especially online. So that's why maybe something like getting on Facebook groups for a local Chicago XYZ Facebook group could be a good idea. Or that's why getting on Google and doing search and stuff like that is a good idea because you're actually showing up for searches. Chicago doctor. Instagram, I think, is also great because what you can do on Instagram is you can follow adjacent businesses in your local area and just start kind of cross-pollinating audiences. You can follow the followers of that local business. So if you can reasonably assume that if another business in your area has 500 followers and you're starting to pick out, oh, this follower is a local person that I know, this person is a local person that I know, you can just start following local people that you know. And over time, posting local content, you'll start to maybe organically build a local audience. And through your content, you can keep having call to actions in your content. And eventually you might get some new calls and some new businesses just from your Instagram page. Oh, John, yeah, I was seeing your posts online and I realized I need a roofer for my new roof. It's leaking. I just bought this new house. So I saw your post and I was like, yeah, I'm going to reach out to John. There you go. Now you got a new customer because you were top of mind because you were posting content and someone saw it and you had a call to action in your videos. And so time together is another thing to consider. We talk a lot about building an audience, right? An audience is someone who is there listening to your message, but ideally over a long time. You're building a community of people that follow you, a community of followers, right? And over time, they're spending a lot of time with you. They've seen one of your YouTube videos. They've seen 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 of your YouTube videos. And now they're spending a lot of time with you. And what do we know about relationships? The more time you spend with someone, the stronger that relationship will be. So the more time you can have someone following your content, the better, the more attached they'll be, the more they'll know about your business, and the more they'll want to work with you and choose you. And then as far as what to post, I would just post valuable content, educational content, or even just post some of your great results, case studies, before and afters. Hey guys, we are a wallpaper business in this city, and look at this amazing wallpaper. It's a nice Instagram video of this wallpaper that they just put up. Beautiful. Before and after. Look at this ugly wall before. Oh, it's all broken. after, bang, a nice clean shot of a beautiful wallpaper. And you're someone who's potentially interested in getting a new wallpaper, you might want to choose that person, especially if they're local. So another thing you can do is, hey guys, we just put up this wallpaper for this client. One thing to consider is if you have drywall, you might need to consider this thing, this factor, and that factor, because drywall for this reason and that reason and this reason isn't quite good for this type of wallpaper specifically. So I'm helping educate my audience. I'm showing my expertise, right? Oh wow, this guy really knows a lot about wallpaper, and he's helping me make an educated decision about what types of wallpaper I can and can't do. So that's why posting valuable or educational content is important, because you not only appear as an expert, but people get value out of you and they want to return to you to learn more. So that's why you would want to post valuable and educational content. We went over know, like, and trust. You eventually want to build a know, like, and trust je ne sais quoi or aura about yourself where people just, I like following that guy. That guy's cool, he's knowledgeable, he knows what he's talking about, and I want to work with them eventually when I'm ready, and whatever the case may be. And then, if you're posting YouTube content or even Twitter content or TikTok content, you ideally want to have some aspect of search engine optimization to your content so that you actually show up for the things that people might be interested in searching for. So for example, if you searched marketing or something like that, this video hopefully showed up for you, right? So I want to attract people that are interested in learning about marketing or are interested in working with me on marketing. And so that's why it's important that I hopefully show up close to the top for these search terms. And you can show up higher and higher the more content you post and build, because you're building what's called topic authority. Google and these search platforms and any of the social media platforms start to see you as a topic authority because you're posting more and more content about this. You're really educating people, and generally it's going to want to list you higher and closer to the top because now you're a trusted long-time provider of this valuable content on this topic. So all of these are super important, guys. These social medias are great places to start. Maps is really good. You want to show up on Apple Maps, Google Maps, any other maps. Make sure you have a business listing, because you'll be surprised. Some people don't have a Google My Business profile set up. Some people don't have an Apple Business Connect profile set up. That's where if someone searches for you on Apple Maps, me personally, I use Apple Maps a lot. So I think it's important that you have that set up, Google Business profile set up, so you show up on Google Maps. TikTok pages are cool. You can be pop culture-y. I think the lead quality on there is slightly less than stuff like YouTube. Why do I not have YouTube on here, actually? YouTube is definitely should be on here. Guys, if I had to pick my main favorite platform, I would say YouTube, because it's just the long form content gets the highest quality leads because they know, like, and trust you. As far as doing this for a local business, I would do local search terms, right? So lawyer in Chicago, and then hopefully you have some kind of product or service that you can help nationally as well, because you're going to be getting a lot of interstate potential prospects and viewers. So just consider that. But YouTube's great for that long form content, that know, like, and trust. And yeah, so guys, with that being said, I hope this helped provide some context and some strategies around how to market your local business online in 2025 and beyond using the internet, because this stuff like social media and Google and search and PPC and all this stuff, it's a little bit confusing. But hopefully this helped kind of diagram and segment and organize how all this stuff works. But if you wanted to learn more about all this, if you wanted to work with me personally to run, whether it's Google ads, Meta ads, Instagram ads, etc., feel free to book a call with the links in the description to work with me personally to run these ads for you, or to help consult with you about how to implement a good marketing strategy. Or if you're an agency looking to kind of do what you do better, learn from me, learn how to start and grow an agency and get good results for your clients, you can also book a call in the agency link below. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.